my name's Alex, and today I have the part 2 of the 3-part series, I guess you could call it, where I talk about my allergies and everything, specifically my dairy allergy. I hope you enjoy it, and yeah, here you go.
Well, I think the big thing is that we try to recognize when someone is trying to be kind and understand. Like, you have to look at the person's motivation.
Yeah.
So there's times when
it's dismissive.
It can feel that way. But they're trying to. Like when someone says, "Oh, I understand. I know exactly what you're going. I'm lactose intolerant too." Right?
No.
But they mean well, right? They're not trying to, they're
trying to relate.
They are.
Versus,
they just don't get it.
Versus people like my cooking teacher who straight up was like, "We've got Lactaid in the fridge." I'm like, "No, I'm actually allergic to that." She's like, "No, you can have the Lactaid in the fridge." I'm like, "Listen, that's still gonna kill me, lady. Like, I don't know what you want me to do." Like,
so,
I can't.
For those of you who don't know, Lactaid is cow's milk that just has the lactose, which is a sugar that occurs in milk, removed or somehow suppressed. I don't know exactly what they do, but it's still cow's milk.
Yeah. So like the protein, which is
the milk protein, is still there. It's still cow's milk.
What they do is they boil the milk and
shut up. We don't even know what they do. Stop. I don't know how they do it, but it's still cow's milk. It will kill her. And she can't have it.
And there's ingredients on boxes, like, because every time I have to eat something, I have to read the ingredients on the box. And sometimes in the ingredient list, it says lactose is like an ingredient, and I can have that because it's not the part that I'm allergic to. But even
it's not necessarily from milk.
Right.
Like, it's not a lactose from milk, and it's supposed to identify if it is.
Right.
But those laws for labeling weren't passed until 2006.
Right. So.
And even once they were passed, it took years for companies to follow those laws. So there are very specific laws that have fortunately been put into effect about food product labeling. Yeah. So when you see in bold print on the back of a food label, that's an allergen, that's one of the top 10 allergens, or if it identifies that it's manufactured in a facility but the regulation for that to be put on there wasn't put on until 2006. So prior to that, if you saw a food label and it looked okay, that wasn't necessarily the case. Natural flavoring in foods simply means that item occurs within nature.
And milk does.
And it's less than, like, 2% of the ingredient or something. So, like, they used to be able to put... So, a natural flavor doesn't mean it's natural to that product. So, for the way I explain it to people is, like... So, McDonald's French fries. Ugh. McDonald's French fries had a big lawsuit from a vegan organization because they were telling people that their French fries were vegan, right? Potatoes cooked in oil and salt. You're done, right? Wrong. They had
2 counts.
They have beef fat and milk protein in their French fries. So
it's in the oil, isn't it?
No, it's in the fry. It's in the fry. They add it to the potato mixture, right? But the thing is that because those are natural, they were able to put them in. They had such a small percentage of them in the fry, they could just list it as a natural flavoring, and it wasn't called out. So, like, obviously vegans, the beef fat and the milk protein are both not vegan, but for allergens' sake, they weren't listed.
Yeah.
So
I had to stop eating them.
Yeah.
And then if I were to have one now, like, I'd have an allergic reaction. No question.
Well, you didn't react to minor allergens.
Right.
When you were little. It's gotten worse as you've gotten older.
Yeah. So that's why, like, there was a time when you could eat it and it wouldn't cause you to react, but you're more sensitive now, so you can't. But that's where like the food labeling change has really helped, and it was harder when you were younger because things weren't listed and you'd react and we wouldn't know why.
And with that, like, there's things that are labeled non-dairy, but you still have to read them because
Dairy free.
telling the truth. They're not telling the truth. They're like, they don't know what's up. Like, there's been multiple cans of whipped cream that I've read that are like non-dairy whipping cream, and you turn it over and it literally says contains milk, and it's like, hello. I was literally in a, I guess it's a Sweet Frog, a frozen yogurt place, and I was like, non-dairy whipped cream, and I picked it up and I was like, excuse me, just so you know, this isn't non-dairy. Like, there's dairy in this, and I was like, just wanted you to know.
Non-dairy does not mean dairy-free.
Yeah.
Now, since we're on that topic, talk about oatmeal.
Ooh, my oatmeal reaction, or like, what do you mean?
Why did that oatmeal cause a problem?
I had an allergic reaction one time because I was at a pool party and I was getting hungry. He was bringing me food, but I got a little impatient. Should not have. And there's like a running joke where it was like, all I can have is oatmeal and water, warm water. And so when they were asking me like, oh, what can we feed you? Because they really wanted to help me, the hosts. And my friend was like, oh, she can have oatmeal. And she's like, oh, I've got oatmeal. And I was like, what kind is it? She brought out the box. I saw that it was Quaker Oats, and it was maple syrup, brown sugar, whatever the mapley one is, which is my favorite flavor. And I was like, oh, I can have that. But I didn't take the time to really look at the box, and I kind of missed the part where it was like
Reduced
Weight reduction.
And so I had a pretty bad really bad allergic reaction. Ended up going to the hospital after I was here, and threw up in the bathroom after having my Wendy's, or trying to have my Wendy's. Couldn't even swallow it. Went to the hospital, and later, literally like the next Sunday, the host brought in the package of oatmeal, like the box for it. And we were reading it, and like the second ingredient was whey, which is milk protein. So it was like oats, whey, and they list things in order of like significance. So if it's oatmeal, yeah, the main part is like there's a lot of oats.
So it was the same manufacturer, it was the same flavor, but it was a special variety that they made. You identified some of the things and thought it was safe, and so you have to,
Have to be very careful and like
yeah,
not just be like, oh, I've had that before. Like I even if we're buying something that I've had times, like there's been times where they'll change it on you.
well, manufacturers change things all the time, and they don't tell you that they've changed it.
Yeah.
The soy whipped cream that we used to buy,
that sucked.
now is manufactured in a facility and you've reacted to that, and we can't have that anymore.
Because I would. And that was, you guys weren't even in this. You guys were like over an hour away, I think, when we found out, because I was at church and my mom told the person who was making the desserts that brand was safe, which is what I had had for years. And then that night, of course, was the first night I had had it since they switched it. And I was like, listen, I'm having an allergic reaction, and I had to like sit out, and then ended up being driven home. And I think I took a shower and like just laid down.
She specifically went to the store just to get that for you, so you
know.
could be included, because she knew that how many times people forget to get stuff that's safe for you, and she wanted to make sure that there was a dessert that you could eat.
She kept saying, she's like, I asked your mom, I talked to
She
your mom
did.
about it. I'm
She
sorry.
She did.
Like, it's okay. It happens.
I
It
know.
always happens. Like, and it'll happen because of myself, because I'll be at fault, like with the oatmeal. Like that was all on me.
I've
You've done
messed
stuff.
up. We've all.
You've done stuff.
I've never messed up.
I mean, that's the thing, though. As much as we are aware,
Yeah.
Things change.
there's been. I mean, how many reactions have you had? With us being and the reactions that you've had in the house have not been cross contamination in our kitchen or any. Like
which is a
We've
point.
not had that
We're
problem.
not a dairy-free house.
Oh, yeah.
There was a whole cheese platter last
I
month.
love cheese. I love...
Sitting in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat and the cheese was right there and I just didn't touch
Didn't
it.
touch it.
Didn't eat it. Did I say that I can't touch dairy? Because I can't touch it either. I can't get it on my skin, otherwise I'll break it
But
off.
we knew not to touch you. You knew not to touch it, and that's how we raised you. I mean, I had a young boy that I babysat when she was little, and he had a severe peanut allergy and tree nuts.
Yeah.
And the two of you. So for all you people who think that we have to sterilize the world to protect these kids, you're wrong. They sat...
Or the reverse of just, like, subject them to whatever they're allergic to. Because that's also a mindset of, like, oh, just have it enough and you'll be fine.
Well, there is a way to do that. But
you'll be dead. You won't have to worry about it anymore.
No. There is actually scientific fact based in that.
Right.
But it's, like, incremental, microscopic amounts that you slowly increase, and it takes years, and doctors...
And I think I'm too severe for that.
Well, I mean, I don't know, but it takes doctors' oversight. It's not something you just do willy-nilly in your home. But the whole thing about, like, sterilizing the world and sending these kids off to their own table in the cafeteria, these two kids sat side by side every day eating lunch. She would have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. He was drinking milk, eating yogurt, and having... cheese on his sandwiches, and never once did they each have a reaction because we wiped down the table surface. They knew not to touch each other's food, and
Or touch each other.
right. And we would wash our hands before and after meals to make sure that there was nothing that was going to be carried from the table to other activities. And they were fine.
It's a balance of, like, you gotta be cautious enough that, like, you're being as safe as possible, but not overly, like, cautious that it becomes a nuisance and a problem in and of itself being that cautious, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
If you're too cautious, you'll screw up.
yeah. And it's just not fun.
Well, but it's not. But also, too cautious is not a realistic way to live your life.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's probably a whole nother vlog about how we chose, and you led the march on that, to integrate her into the world. That's probably another whole conversation we can have. But the short answer is, we weren't going to have her sitting off by herself on a table on some remote island. She needed to learn how to work in and out of how other people are doing things. And for a child with her allergy, a elementary school lunchroom is extremely scary.
Yeah. But I think I did pretty well after your whole training. Where she would put milk on my arm, and then I had to calmly walk to the bathroom and wash it off.
well, how long do we want? I mean, do we want to go into that?
I mean, I don't care.
So,
It's up to you. We can
so,
cut it in half.
so in kindergarten,
We'll be back after these messages.
Cut.
Hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. This is a little outro I'm filming because we filmed everything all in one part before. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you'll come back next week. Today's an exciting day for me because it's Friday, November 1st, and that means it is Fair Convention or Teen Summit Contains Courage is what it's called for 2019. So that means I will be going to that, and I'm really excited, and I hope that I meet people who are similar, I guess, in the sense of allergies, and actually get to, like, I don't know, make friends, learn more things, but I'm just really excited. So, okay, thank you so much for watching. Bye.